We all have ideas, but how do you spot a good business idea? Welcome to the showcase. And today, my name is Peace Hyde. I am a media entrepreneur, TV personality, and the West African Correspondent for Forbes. And joining us on the showcase, we have
Michael Akindele. I'm an entrepreneur and Director of Experience Planning for Solifone.
Tannaz Bahnam, I'm the founder and CEO of LostInLagos.com.
And Joycee Awojoodu, I am the founder CEO of Oriki Group.
So the idea and the great business idea, they're two separate things. I have great ideas every day, I like to think, but not all of them can be applied to developing a business. So what do you think an individual needs to do in order to differentiate between a great idea and a great business idea?
I think there are a number of things that you have to think about, because an idea and building a business are two very different things, and building a business is very, very challenging.
It's true. I noticed when you introduced yourself as the Lost in Lagos, I've seen those white boxes all over the place. So then that's how I resonated with, oh, I know that business. Yeah. So I think a good way of also knowing if your business is a great idea rather than just a random fleeting thing is how does it impact your customer or your customer base? If you build a brand that people recognize or something that people can resonate with, then by default, your business automatically has an audience, right, which means it's something that can be very lucrative if it applies to that audience. And it means that it's also embedded in the daily lives of that person. So they'll always think about it, because I've seen the boxes everywhere. I haven't got one though.
You should get one.
Definitely. I think what I would say is that it's very important to understand your skill set. So let's say, for example, you want to start a tech company, but you don't know how to program. Chances are you probably need to find a co-founder. So if your strong point is you're very good at sewing, it's probably best for you to try to find something that's close to your skill set. Let's say, for example, for the case in point, I love robotics. I know absolutely nothing about robots. Chances are I probably shouldn't start that business. So because one, I don't know enough about robots. It's going to cost a lot of money. And you also have to think through, how do you get your business up and running? Because from the point you have an idea, it's very important to just start. The best way to start is to literally just start. But I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, they have an idea, they sit on it, and then they find out that, oh, wow, I had that idea. I saw someone doing it. So a lot of times, spotting a good business idea, one is find a way to start, get some experience, get some research, ask people a lot of questions, look out to mentors, and then sort of along the way, you figure out whether or not it's a good idea.
I'd also add that I think in spotting a good business idea, it's important to also test the idea. I believe ideas come daily, especially in a part of the world where we are developing and we're striving and we're growing and we're burgeoning. It's quite important that although we think of good ideas, we also test the possibility and the feasibility of them. And what I mean by that is actually doing market surveys, actually finding out, through mentors, through your target market, if it's something that would sell. When I first moved here, I remember thinking that customer service business would be so great because I noticed that there was a big issue of customer service. So I went around to owners of businesses and asked them, would you pay someone to come in and train your staff? And at that time, 3 years ago, nobody was interested. And the reason was, our customers don't demand. They still come to patronize us. But now, today, it's changed. Now you must distinguish your business. And therefore, I'd say it's really important to make sure that your idea is one that is sound amongst your target market.
And that it can evolve too, because it has to be able to evolve. Otherwise, because you can start off with one idea, and by the time you actually launch your brand or your product, it can have completely evolved, because you learn a lot about that idea and learn a lot about the audience that you're targeting too. So, and what I found is that your original idea would have shifted.
When you're looking at the audience that you're targeting your business at, is there a need? You always have to almost try and be objective. When you're deciding what type of business plan you're going to go with, you may think, I really, really think there should be a marshmallow shop in the middle of Lagos because you love marshmallows. But you have to check, is there a need for it? Does the market actually want that? Is there a lack? Because if you end up investing your time, your money, your resources into building an amazing concept, if there's not a market that needs it, if there's not a demand, then you've wasted your time royally.
I think it's extremely important to really understand what the target audience is and feedback. I think doing research, that's very important. And I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of actual money. The whole purpose of starting a business is that it has to make money. If the business isn't making money 2 years into it, 3 years into it, perhaps you probably need to look at your business model, probably just think through how can you change it. Look at your skill set and ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
Ask a lot of questions and then really look at the numbers. Right. The numbers, if you don't know the numbers of what it takes to actually run your business, chances are you're not going to be very successful because one, you're going to run out of money and then you're going to start making rash decisions. You wouldn't take the time to really think through the correct strategy on how to actually execute and grow your business. Right. One of the things that in solo that we spend a lot of time saying is speed and execution. Because chances are, if you have an idea, there's at least 200 people who have the same idea. Yeah. So if you don't move very fast, chances are you wouldn't be the first to actually be able to launch that idea. So it's important to always be the first to market. If you aren't the first to market, how are you making things 10 times better? If it's not 10 times better, why should anybody switch to your product or service?
Yeah. So you have to make sure that you're motivated and that you're consistent in developing it. If you decide that for the next 6 months I'm going to do it and then you start taking days off, it will never work out. Yeah. So it's important that you're consistent in making sure that that idea becomes a reality.
Yeah. It's very important that you follow your passion, 1. 2, you know your numbers, get a lot of feedback, try to understand what the target consumer wants. And really look at your market. What market are you addressing? Are you first to market? Are you second to market? Are you a Mr. Me Too business? And try to understand that what makes you different. Why should anybody buy your product or service? And most importantly, it's very important that you simply just start. Best of luck to you as you sort of go out there and try to start your business or try to follow your passion and your dreams. And thank you for watching us here on the showcase.